Hello Bookish friends, welcome to this month's Try a Chapter video. In today's video, I'm going to select 5 historical fiction books from my Goodreads TBR and decide if I want to keep them on my TBR or not. I'm doing those monthly Try a Chapter videos to help with my yearly goal of reducing the number of books on my Goodreads TBR from 400 to at least 350 by the end of 2024. The books that I will try a chapter of are Baudolino by Umberto Eco, A Rebel Queen by Moran, Next Year in Havana by Chastiny Cleeton, The Agincourt Bride by Joanna, Hickson, and Bir Nefes Gibi by Ferzan, Özpetek. I have the physical copy of the first book that I will try a chapter of, which is Baudolino by Umberto Eco. My father had bought this book and I was initially interested in reading it. However, after rereading The Name of the Rose by this author and really not being a big fan of the writing style, I'm quite undecided if I want to keep this book or not. Finished the prologue section of Baudolino, and in this section we follow the first writing drafts of Baudolino, written when he was a child of 14, picturing the war between Milano and Pavia in the 12th century Italy. His writings do have time jumps between them, and there are so many grammatical errors. It is a bit hard for me to describe what the book is about with this first prologue chapter. Second historical fiction that I will try a first chapter of is The Agincourt Bride by Joanna Hickson. This is actually the oldest book that I downloaded on my Storytel application that I haven't listened yet. And this was the reason that I put this book on this list. I listened to the first chapter of The Agincourt Bride by Joanna Hickson. This first chapter is told from the companion of Catherine de Valois, who was the first matriarch of the dynasty, which later became the Tudor family. And the companion of the queen tells us that her name has been written wrong in the historical chronicles, and therefore the chronicles are not true, and we should not believe them, but she will tell the accurate story in the following chapters. I also have the physical copy of the third book that I will try a chapter of, which is called Bir Nefes Gibi by Ferzan, Özpetek. This book has actually been translated into many languages: Italian, French, Bulgarian, Serbian, German, and many other European languages except English. So it's actually a possible contender for a Turkish shelf video book. But I need to find out if I will like the book or not first. I finished the first chapter of Bir Nefes Gibi by Ferzan, Özpetek. This book opens with a letter written by Elsa, an Italian woman living in Kaş, Antalya, Turkey, addressed to her sister that she hasn't seen for 50 years. In this letter, she says that she has lost one of her dearest friends. Now feels the need to see her older sister, Adele. In the following section, Joanna and Sergio, who's a young couple living in an old Italian building, unexpectedly visited by Elsa, who is looking for her older sister Adele, who was the previous owner of the building, and the couple says that they have her phone number and they can give it to her. And the fourth historical fiction book that I will listen to a chapter of is Next Year in Havana by Chastiny G. I've heard very mixed things about this book. Some of my friends really do like it, while some others do find it boring. So I wanted to try it for myself, and that is why this book is on the list. I finished reading the first chapter of Next Year in Havana. And in this first chapter, which is taking place right after the Cuban Revolution in 1958, Elisa, a daughter of a wealthy Cuban businessman who supports the failed government, is sent to America to exile with her family, her parents, and her 3 sisters. And she is wondering about when she will be back to Cuba because she loves her country very much, and she is very proud of her Cuban heritage. Last historical fiction book that I will try a chapter of is The Rebel Queen by Michelle Moran. This book has been on my Goodreads TBR for a very long time, and that is the reason why I chose to try this book on this video. I read the prologue chapter of The Rebel Queen by Michelle Moran. We meet an Indian woman in 1919 living under the occupation of British Empire. And she is one day asked by a young English girl to write about her memoirs. As the sister of the rebel queen, as she is known to the British, she is very hesitant at first. However, she decides to write the memoir, though she thinks that it will not be useful. She just wants to write it for herself. It looks like in the first chapter we will start the memoir. What did I think about the first chapters of the 5 historical fiction books that I read? First of all, I want to talk about the clear winner for the Unhauling, which was Baudolino by Umberto Eco. Prologue chapter, like it is stated in the book, is a jumble of thoughts and so many writings with very various grammatical errors, which was not a good experience for me. However, I did not base my judgment on this chapter alone, and I skim-read the first chapter as well. And to be honest, although the writing was significantly better, I still found it a bit overwhelming with so many historical details, which I'm not really interested about at all. Considering my previous experience with The Name of the Rose, I've decided to unhaul Baudolino from my Goodreads TBR. I was a bit hesitant on Agincourt Bride because I thought the writing style was a bit simple. However, the content of the book and the claim that the historical chronicles are inaccurate made me quite interested in finding out about the truth of the book. So I decided to give it a chance and keep it on my Goodreads TBR. I wasn't so hesitant on Next Year in Havana and The Rebel Queen. They seemed very interesting books with a good writing style. A book that I liked the most was actually a book written by a Turkish movie director, Ferzan Özpetek. The opening letter, the mystery behind why those 2 sisters were kept apart from each other, and the setting of Antalya, Kaş, one of the most beautiful places that I visited in Turkey, Italy, country I really want to visit because of its historical places, made it a book that I really want to read. It was the most definite one that I would keep it on my Goodreads TBR, and I will most probably read it very soon. So in summary, this month, with the 5 historical fictions that I've chosen, I decided to keep 4 of them and unhaul 1 of them. Please comment down below, have you read any of the books that I mentioned in this video? And what you do think of them? If you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye! As for Turkish word of the day, I'm going to choose rebel. Rebel means asi in Turkish, and asi is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.